Happy New Year, everyone. I am Christy Rutherford, and today we're going to be talking about you don't have to quit your job to find balance. Now, I have the amazing and the incredible Kathy Wright and Raquel Naranjo on the line. I was going to mess that up. And we just want to share some insight with y'all. So let us know where you are, where you're streaming in from, and if y'all have any questions while we get this party started. So, all right. Now I'm excited to talk to y'all. Y'all know I ain't talked in a long time. So I don't know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be great though. Here's the thing about I was thinking this morning. In 2020, I used to talk about how we were gonna see the people who did the work and started to acknowledge that they were burning out and started to do the work on themselves, and the people who weren't. And I'm like, in a couple of years, we're gonna see the separation. And so over the past 6 years, I've been watching. Raquel, can you turn your microphone down a little bit? Because I can hear myself on the feedback. You got it? Just a little bit. Okay. Are y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Every time I try out new microphones, I probably should have tried it out. But anyway, so I used to say, we're gonna see who is doing the work on themselves and who's not. And this isn't like a I told you so or I got you, but now we're looking at 2026, and I want to have some fun with y'all today, but I want to talk about how let LinkedIn tell it we're all struggling. That's not true. Let LinkedIn tell it everybody's going through something. Now I do agree that people are typically moving through something, but I'm watching Vision Fund International clients thrive, like killing the game. Now I don't tag myself in all of their posts, but y'all see our clients are like thriving and including, the two of y'all. And so I want to just be able to share some insight with the audience today on, what does it take to live a life where you actually thrive, to come out of survival mode and come into thriving, because a lot of people think they have to quit their jobs or take a pay cut to find balance. And we've proven this with over 300 leaders from 20 countries, 17 nationalities within the US. So people think it's just Christy and a laptop. Christy has a team. Somebody in my was more like, do you do individual coaching? Absolutely not. Now, Kathy, here's the thing. I tell people all the time, I have coaches. Kathy and Raquel are a part of the coaching team. Mm-hmm. And Kathy's been with me since 2021. I think Raquel late 2021, 2022. So whenever I talk about what we've done, they are the we that I'm talking about, with the $421 million in salary raises, helping 300 leaders recover from the advanced and critical stages of burnout, reversing stress-related medical conditions in 45 people, saving 30 marriages, and keeping hundreds of kids out of therapy from talking about an absent mama. These, when I say we, this is the we that I'm talking about, and God. Let's be clear. Now, Kathy.
Yeah.
What do you think about the times that we're living in today, and what can leaders do, women in particular, do to have balance in their life? And what have you proven for yourself first? And then what have you seen with regards to other people?
Yeah. Thanks, Christy, for that question. And welcome, everybody. I'm so excited. 2026 is going to be a year of new beginnings. I told Christy a while ago, I'm like, this is the year of the fire horse. That means everybody's going to be on fire for change and trying to get to a place where they're feeling better about their role, how their life is kind of playing out. But what I've seen, though, is it has been particularly stressful. 2025 was super stressful for a lot of people. But even that time leading into that, it was just like there was so much energy after COVID of people trying to navigate what it would look like to return to work in person, to have their kids back in school full time. Like all of that, there was a lot of energy of disbelief, unsure, just like what's going to happen. And they came into places where it created a lot of stress for them. And people were trying to navigate out and try to figure out what would be their next in the middle of all of this chaos, right? And in the past year, we've seen that really accelerate with some of the political stuff that's been going on and some of the headlines around layoffs and things like that. So people are super stressed, and for many people, they just haven't found a way to navigate through it. One of the funny things that happened though in the middle of that, right, is there was a lot of posts on social media around, specifically for people of color. Well, that's not our problem. We're gonna be over here dancing boots on the ground, right? There was a whole bunch of like narrative around like we're not like embracing all of the things that were happening, and that we were like kind of separating ourselves from that chaos. And in a way that was true, but it wasn't true in reality in terms of how we were like kind of working through our lives, trying to navigate and still like make sure that, our kids were happy and we were happy, and we're trying to navigate some of these really uncertain times, and especially in the corporate space. So what I found is that there are more and more women in particular who are looking for ways to stay grounded in the middle of all of the noise. There's a ton of noise. We've got all of these social media outlets that are constantly messaging to us. We AI is here, and all of those things are leaning into our fears in some cases, right? What we search becomes our feed, right? What we question in Chat GTP GPT shows up as a constant like thread of around things that are very similar, that speaks to our stress. And some ways it feels like everything is kind of like trying to tell you the same story, and no one is really trying to give you a clear path of how to navigate out of it. So what we've been able to do, and I know Raquel could share this as well, like, is just stay grounded, right? What we learned through Vision Finder Masterclass was that in the middle of anything, you can still find your space, the quiet space, to be quiet, to center yourself, to know yourself first, so that you can be better for others. And so I've leaned into that space. I've had our clients lean into that space, and they've been able to thrive, circling back to the original work of taking care of themselves first and getting clear.
All right. Same question, Raquel. No, wait, hold on. There you go. We can hear you.
Is it the same question, Christy? Okay, I can. For some reason, I'm having trouble with my mic. I'm so sorry. So I can speak to that very clearly, like Kathy was just mentioning. It's been quite the 5 years, right? We went into 2020. It was a time where there was a lot of uncertainty, and people were scared. They didn't know what was coming. It was a time where people were burned out, but they were forced to stop, because we were all forced to stop, right? And that was the time that I actually went into Christy's program myself, and was able to truly understand who I am, what the work-life balance truly meant. And in today's world, 5 years later, we're still dealing with the noise. I feel very strongly that in dealing with our clients, and to add to what Kathy was saying, is that there's really two levels that we're still working with. We're not just working with the mindset alone, because mindset, let's be clear, mindset is really important, very important. And we want to make sure that we are clear-minded, that we are, that we have the opportunities are aligned with who we are, what we want to do, where we want to be, how we want to show up in life. But even more important than that is the nervous system safety, because we are on a constant battle of all of the noise outside of what is going on in our own world, with the social media, with everything that's going on currently, with the economy, with the administration. That's all just noise, ladies. We need to stay grounded. We need to stay focused. And in order to do that, we have to control our nervous system. This is where the safety piece comes in, right? The safety of being able to be clear, be able to understand that everything around us may or may not affect us, but it surely cannot affect the way that we that we approach life, that we approach the way that we move forward, and the way that we show up again with our families. And then with the work-life balance, it's not just about the balance, it's about sustainability. Because if we cannot sustain the work-life balance, it's gonna become another struggle, right? It's another struggle that we're dealing with. So I think we have to clear out that noise. We have to continue to be mindful, set those clear boundaries, reset our nervous systems, clear out the white noise and all of the noise, because that noise is heavy, and create sustainability, not just balance in our lives.
When you talked about regulating the nervous system, maybe I just don't want to talk that smart, Kat.
Oh, Christy, I apologize. For some reason, I cannot hear you. Damn it.
Okay.
So let me go ahead and try logging back in.
All right. Raquel got that iPhone, y'all. I do love that Apple stock because they pay dividends, but y'all need an Android. But anyway, so we'll wait for her to come back. So here's the thing. Mm-hmm. When it comes to what Raquel talked about with regulating the nervous system, I was thinking about, Kathy, how maybe I just don't want to sound that smart. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a nerd. It's like I like to give people information in the ways that burnout people can understand, because we understand. Like I look at the somatic breathing, I love that. But if we don't get to the root of what's going on with a person, if we don't get to like the baseline reason for why we're in panic, it is not the times of today. The things that are going on today are just connecting with what the unresolved stuff that we've been dragging around for the past 30, 40, 50 years, right? Mm-hmm. And so, as I think about the work that we've done in the past 6 years now, even though I look like I'm 12, the work that we've done to be able to assist, women, we had a couple of men, but for the majority, women, in not dying.
Yeah.
Right. Where would you be, Kathy, today if you didn't say yes to yourself? Because I talked to when I say thousands of people who knew that they were in the critical stages of burnout. And, I tell you, you're about to die. I have no problem with saying that, because when I was completely irrational in 2012, 2013, I didn't have anybody say in my face, you're about to die. And I was about to die. So I don't have a problem with saying that to people. And I say it straight up and in your face. And it's like, but where would you be now if you didn't say yes to yourself? Because people think that, oh, Christy just trying to sell me something. It's like, no, I'm trying to actually save your life.
Yeah.
Oh, Christy, you just trying to sell me a dream. And it's like, no, I actually know who you could be if you choose to let go of the baggage that you've been dragging around for the past, 30, 40 years. You can set yourself free. So anyway, so where would you be, Kathy? I'm singing a song on Beyonce. Where would you be if you didn't say yes to yourself in 2020?
It's hard for me to really like describe where I was in life. Oh, thank you so much for that is so generous of you. Thank you.
Hold on. That's who you were. Hold on, Raquel. Look, I zoomed in on her face. I needed to zoom in. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. That was me being petty, all caps petty.
Listen.
So Kathy,
what
advice do you have for this lady right here? Because here's why I show this.
Yeah.
Because it's possible to completely, and when I say completely change your life. Right. And I used to say it, and then I proved it, and now we expanded on it, and people are still thinking that they have to be the same. And after 6 years, I feel like I'm yelling in a Campbell soup can. It's like, you could completely change your life. So I had to bring to the forefront. You said I could use it. You just know I was going to use it today.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not ashamed. I'm actually like really proud of the transition, and it just makes me laugh so much, because like I thought I was doing good, baby. I thought it was like I was popping. That happened to be for one of our I'm a former principal. This is one of our Black History Program moments. So I had on my little outfit for that. that wasn't my normal outfit with the long to the floor. I wasn't, trying to. So that was the thing that day. But no, someone sent me this. Honestly, someone sent me this picture like a year ago and say, "Hey, you look so great this day. I miss you," right? And I was like, I don't know her, right? And I appreciated so much the sentiment that they shared that with me, and they thought that that was one of my best looks, right? One of my great days. But I can tell you that I was really sick. I was mentally and physically, emotionally sick. I was executing at a very high level. I was getting things done. I was appreciated in my peer group and in my professional world, and was doing big things. I had been to the Obama White House as an invited guest. And had done a lot of things in that professional capacity that kept me imbalanced, right? I prioritized a lot of things in my professional life over my personal life. So I was obese. I was, near diabetic. I was, on high blood pressure medication. So the opportunity to, when everything kind of like all the walls finally caved in and I couldn't avoid the conversation that I needed to have about my own health and my own well-being, then I leaned into and had the good luck of finding Christy to be able to help me, like she calls it bopping you over the head, right? It was felt like a sledgehammer, right? But just kind of like this burst of energy that comes in and tells you that, no, it doesn't have to be that way. Right. And leaning into that conversation and really agreeing to not buy anything. Right. It wasn't about buying anything. It was about investing in myself. Right. Many times high achieving women invest in others at a very high level, so much that they sacrifice themselves, and we wear that martyr thing like it's a badge on our shoulders, right? And like we're gonna get a prize for that. You're not gonna get a prize for your martyr medal that you have on your shoulder. You're just not. Nobody's gonna pay you more for it. Nobody's going to like you more for it, right? So you have to get rid of the idea that you have to show up for everybody and everything and don't have any boundaries and just keep working and not taking vacations and not doing the things for yourself, right? And so going into that space, I realized that my life could 10x if I just allowed myself to believe differently for what my life could be, right? I lost a ton of weight. I don't even want to tell you how much weight I lost, but I lost a lot of weight, right? I'm not on any medications. I just take vitamins and drink water and mind my business. And I'm living happier. My life is just much more fulfilled. And I want that for all women who are in that similar space, right? We go and we stack degrees and we just, somebody says something to us and it's bell ringing in our head for the next 20 years because we designed our life to prove that person wrong, right? So I had to release that idea of whatever those things were and really create a new pathway for myself. And I'm super proud of it. And yeah, so.
I went to a conference with a well-known rock star leader. I paid $15,000 to be in the room. And I watched this person sell people a coaching program that represented who he was. And I've seen, you have like, what is his name? I ain't even going to say it. John C. Maxwell has his own courses, right? You have Dale Carnegie has courses and Bob Proctor, and you have like Tony Robbins coaches and stuff like that. But I know Tony Robbins does his coaches a little different. But as I started to evolve as a business owner, I started thinking about if I need to scale, I want my coaches to be my former clients because I don't want to teach what we're not, right? So you can teach people, you can hold a vision for somebody that they can completely change their life. You can hold a vision for somebody that, you thought you was killing a game as a principal, not knowing that your potential was infinite. Because now you got like 6 businesses. I be counting all your money, right? Like you didn't know that was possible, but because I did that for myself, then I could do that for you. And then you can pass that to other people. And so I want people to know what's important for us at Vision Finder International isn't, oh, Christy, do you need coaches? Is like, no, are you the information that you teach? And so I'm proud that as you've assisted hundreds of women with getting free, like you are what you teach. So I had to bring the picture up to be partially petty, but also to let people know that you're not new to this. You're true to this. This is who you are. So Raquel, what are you? Hold on. What was the biggest shift in your life? I would say the biggest two shifts in your life when you chose to say yes to yourself in 2021. And we don't have anything for y'all at the end. We just want to share information on what's possible, because I can't take looking at LinkedIn and everybody's talking about we struggling. No, we are not, right? No, you going through something, or even worse, people who are giving you permission to struggle and telling you that that's normal. So let's join this collective group so we can all suffer and struggle and complain together. I'm not about that life. But go ahead, Raquel. So what was going on in your life?
I'm surprised you didn't bring to the forefront of how angry I was, Christy.
Well, I mean, hopefully let you do that. You do it. There you go.
So when I approached Christy, she pulled me to the side and said I was going to die, like literally going to die. I was probably one of the angriest people on the planet at that time. And it was anger due to exhaustion. I kept telling everybody in the group, I'm so tired of being tired, right? And I never gave myself permission to rest. I never gave myself permission to stop, to be able to see my true value, where I belonged. I was running every single day. And that made me angry at myself for not setting boundaries, angry at my husband for being in the position we were, angry at my children, angry at life, angry with the world. The way I showed up was just anger. It was my default emotion, right? I didn't know how to process my emotions, so that is what came up for me every single time. And when I tell you I was angry, it was just due to just being emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually burned the F out. And I didn't know where to turn. And, this is going to sound really cheesy, but I think God brought Christy into my life, because if it wasn't for her, I can't even imagine where I would be right now. And listen, ladies, just hear me out for a second. When you change, everything around you changes. I was on the brink of divorce. And Christy told me, just hang on for a few more months. Let's just see where things go over the next few months. And I cannot tell you how important those next few months were. 6 months is really what it took for me to make those changes for myself, for being able to bring out the best qualities in me so that I could put my best foot forward. And as a result, everyone else around me changed. And it was peaceful in my house for the first time in years. Like peace, I love, all the things that I wanted. And I never knew that it started with me. I just didn't even know that. I didn't even cross my mind. I felt like everybody was against me. Everybody was just, it was just me against the world. That's how I felt. But when I came into these ladies, this opportunity, this mindset, the shift, this just amazing view of how we can change and how we can persevere and how we can be who we really truly are, unapologetically, and holding our values firm, understanding again who we are and how we're going to show up in life. So that's where I was, Christy.
It's interesting because women who are moms, I don't have no children, thank God. But anyway, like y'all think that you have to be a martyr to your family. And when I tell women you don't have to be a martyr to your family, they get mad because they're like, you don't have kids. I like, yeah, but I've coached enough women to see that when a woman gives herself permission to take care of herself, her whole family dynamic changes, right? Like if a woman can give herself permission to fill her cup first and not walk around depleted and a martyr. Like y'all were martyrs, self-created. I need one of y'all to unpack that. Self-created martyrs at the expense of your family, thinking that that's what they wanted or that's what they required. And then once you filled your cup, they said, thank God. And I remember Tashea, Tashea was one of our clients in 2021. Tashea tried to skip a session and it was her son's birthday. She's like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to make the session. You know, we're going out for dinner. Her kids were like, nah, we good. No, you finished. We like you when you work with Christy. Like, we like that. We like it when you finish these sessions. You're somebody different. We'll wait for you. And so your family will make room for you to heal and to let go of the baggage and to allow them to show up if you make room and not be a martyr. One of y'all want to unpack that? Raise your hand.
Yeah, I do think that we, because we're used to doing, right? We're executing at a very high level. We think because we're doing things with our family, right, that automatically is going to make them fall in line and do what we need them to do. And it doesn't happen like that, right? When we're doing, we're not always being. Right. And, being a mom is more than doing mom work. Right. Right. You can make the lunches, you can prepare the dinners and but you're not being present. Right. Matters. Right. If you're not present in that space, really connecting and communicating with your family. Right. You're not earning any cool points with them. Right. I didn't know how uncool I wasn't right. Uncool I was. There we go. Until I transitioned out of my traditional role. My kids were very frank with me. They were like, "Yeah, you gave us everything. We went on vacation. We had all of the Jordans and everything. We had everything we needed, but we didn't really have you in the way that we wanted you." And it was really hard for them to also like execute in their own life because they're seeing me up here, right? All the way up here at this level that they have to reach to, right? And so they were struggling trying to meet a metric for something that I didn't even know I had created. I'm like, you don't have to be me, but they felt that energy around trying to be exactly like me. And it was creating for them a cycle of pain. Right. So I had to deal with all of that inside of that space. Like, what had I set my family? I set my family up. I set them up. Right. And I set up the people around me who were working with me to think that you got to be up at 2:00 in the morning, answering crazy emails and creating schedules and all of the crazy stuff I used to do when I didn't create boundaries for the work in my life. Right. So creating boundaries so that I can have balance where I could be present when I needed to do the work, but also be present when I needed to be with myself or be with my family was really, really huge for me.
Raquel, same question.
Yeah. I just to add to what Kathy was saying, which is on point. I just feel that the other layer of that is that you lose yourself, right? Because you pour yourself into these children. You have them, you bear them, and you pour your life into these children, and so as a result, we tend to lose ourselves. So a lot of what who we are is lost, and so which woman. And they're like, now what? What do I do with my life? Who am I? Right? Who am I? And that seems like such a simple question, but it is one of the most difficult questions to answer when you're looking at who you are and what is it that you want out of life, right? Because you miss yourself. You think of yourself how you were post or pre-children, right? And then what happens after you have children? And at that point, you become someone else. So I think it's because everyone needs you. Everyone, you feel like you're being pulled in a million directions. And so you tend to pour into everybody else, like Kathy was saying. And you feel like there is no time for you. And at the end of the day, that's going to cause you to feel again, for me, it was anger, right? I felt angry because I had lost myself in the whole process. And so I feel like it's very important for us to take time for self-care, to take time to ground yourself and understand again and rediscover yourself, because you are no longer, I was 24 years old when I had my first baby. Well, here I am in my 40s and I'm rediscovering who I am now. Because who I was when I was 24 is not who I am today. Right. So it is also important to position yourself and have that alignment with where you have grown, where you need to continue to grow, and ever growing. You're ever evolving. I know that right now in my 40s, will probably be a whole different person in my 50s, right? And that's because I will continue to grow, continue to be a better person, continue to show up for the people around me, continue to be myself, and persevere and believe in in my belief system in God, and my faith is going to be carrying me forward as well.
Yeah, I forgot that well, I didn't forget. I just forget to bring it up because I was so focused on Kathy's picture that made me so happy. I made it 4X too. I made it anyway. So, and it's because, Raquel, you're not, like, you haven't been that angry in 5 years. So I forgot. You legit gave me a headache when we were on the phone.
Yeah.
I got a phone. I needed some. Hold on, let me.
Yeah.
I can hear myself.
And you know how heavy that is on a person? Like, I remember feeling the release. I don't remember. I went outside and I looked at a leaf on a tree and I cried. Literally, because I don't remember the last time that I looked at my surroundings. Like, literally, oh my God, a little bird out there. Oh my gosh, like nature. Like, oh, the grass is so green. Like, these are like silly things, but incredibly important for sanity.
Yeah. So, what are 3 things that leaders can do today if they're stuck? I'm gonna have my 3.
Okay.
But what 3 things? What advice do you have for people who are stuck in the mud, right? Or they want to be different, but they don't know how they can be different? Kathy.
So first thing I thought of is they have got to breathe. The number of people who aren't breathing, taking deep breaths is just astounding to me. And I know that sounds silly. People breathing every day. No, they're not. Right? People are running around doing all of these things, right? And not being conscious of really being present in their body. So I would invite everybody, like, as you start your day, before you get out of bed, like, really be conscious and take some deep breaths, right? And center yourself. That I think is a really sacred thing that I do every day. The second thing that I will offer is just in those moments, in those quiet moments, write it down. Right. One thing I learned from Christy is keep a pack of Post-it notes, right? Because you don't have to have a long designed journal, right? That you keep all your little special things. No, it could be a Post-it note, right? You've got to get out of your head. The reason you have headaches is because you're always overthinking and trying to rethink things that you did 20 years ago and wanting them to replay out. You can't do that, right? You got to be present and you got to stop overthinking. And so to get it out of your head, you got to get it written down. And then the third thing is you got to get honest, right? Look at yourself in a very honest way. Like, take the blinders off. Look at yourself when you're coming out of the shower, after you've taken a bath. Look in the mirror and really, really get honest about how you're feeling, what you understand, what you don't understand about yourself, and getting honest about what you need. And honest about whether it's time for you to start really seeking out a way forward. With accountability partners who can really help you get to your next level.
Okay. Raquel, same question.
I think that the first thing that someone needs to do is stop doing everything you're doing. Just stop. And I've had to tell and in my coaching sessions, they just talk, and they love to talk about themselves. They love to hear themselves speak, but they're not really listening, right? They're not listening. And that is a skill. It's a skill we have to acquire. We have to listen, not just listen to others, but listen to ourselves. And when we stop, we can hear ourselves again, right? We really can. It's that noise. It's all of that, everything, like the everyday life, the children, the tasks, everything that's around us. And that we just need to, in order to be able to see clearly, you just have to stop and listen to yourself, listen to the higher power, listen to whatever it is that that's coming to you naturally, because you know who you are deep down. You just have forgotten who you are, right? The next thing that I think is also really important, and Kathy touched on this, is having a journal. And it doesn't mean writing a book. It just means at the end of the day, maybe you write your 3 wins. Maybe you discuss what you could change in yourself and really take a deep dive. I know that when I've done that, even if it's one sentence a night, and I go back and I read what I wrote a year ago, it's like, wow, you can see the change. You can see the difference. You can see where you have faltered, what you have, how you have changed. And so it's really, it's not just about writing. It's not just about journaling. It's also about going back to take a look at the growth that you have evolved into, the understanding that has come from the journaling. And I have found this very helpful, and I'm sure Christy and Kathy will agree with me, is that when you journal, you sometimes you have a subconscious mind, right? And the subconscious or the unconscious, the unconscious comes through your writing. And sometimes I find myself writing things, and I'm like, I didn't even know I thought like that. Like it's just sometimes those subconscious thoughts come through when you start writing in paper, and then things they just follow. You can see them. You can see the evolving stages, right? And then the third thing is, be very clear with who you are and what you want in life. You cannot move forward if you do not have clarity. And by clarity, that is also going back to the journaling, because you have to declutter what's up here, right? And sometimes I've coached women where their spaces are also super cluttered, right? And so right now, we're at the beginning of the year, great time to do some cleaning, but not just cleaning in your home, cleaning of your mind. And I think once we do that, then you can see very clearly where you're going, because sometimes that anxiety, that stress, that it comes from the uncertainty of not knowing where you're going, not knowing who you are, not knowing what you're trying to accomplish, not knowing who you should be surrounding yourself with. All of those factors play into who we are and how we show up and how we move forward. So I think if you start with those 3 things, and in addition to what Kathy just mentioned, incorporate that, the 5-minute breathing exercises in the morning, the Post-it notes to keep you, sane throughout the day, that you can do this, you are enough, you're capable, you're strong, you're intelligent, whatever it is that you need to hear. And what Christy was saying, it comes from generational trauma. It comes from, years and years of programming, social, economic, cultural. There's so many different factors that come in to who we are and how we're wound up, right? Mm-hmm. So those are the factors that really, really shine, really stand out for me as I've coached a lot of the women. And I know that we've talked about 2020 being, the challenging year, if you will. But I think that, taking that into consideration with everything that we've overcome, Kathy, right? Mm-hmm. In these last 5 years, and what we continue to do that. Now, here's the question for everybody. If you're still in the mindset, if you're still stuck in 2020, now this is the time to change. You've waited 5 years. What are you waiting for now? Right? Mm-hmm. So that's where it is. And I think that, having this opportunity, having this, this opportunity with Christy and Kathy to speak to everything we've gone through, the challenges that continue to step into our lives. Let's choose ourselves, who we are and how we can be better.
Awesome. All right. So before we'll wait for Raquel to come back.
Are you both there?
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
She needs an Android. But I want to put up all right. So here's the thing. I'll give my 3 and then I'll talk about what I was going to talk about. So I actually got 5. Okay. Number 1, when you wake up in the morning, write down 3 things that you're grateful for. And Kathy, when I started doing this in 2009, I used to be like, I wasn't grateful for that much. And I had a lot, right? And I was unaware that I had all these things because I wasn't grateful for what I had. I used to be like, hold on, I'm trying to, what are we doing? All right. Oh, this is hold on. Okay, we got the 4. Okay, here we go. I used to be like, I'm grateful for that blueberry martini I had last night. I'm just saying, I'm grateful for them empanadas. Like, I was so ungrateful and bitter. So it's like, I'm grateful for, whatever. So it was like the pettiest stuff. But as I continued on, I actually started to lean into, and it's almost like the meditation piece where we think it's dumb or people think it's dumb. And until you actually start to do it, it becomes a part of your life. So now I'm grateful when I wake up in the morning. I mean, my God, people be like, how are you? I be like, I'm fantastic. They be like, how are you fantastic? I'm like, I woke up. Now y'all want too much. Anything past that is a miracle. Yeah. And so it's like, we're not grateful for a lot of things that are going on. And I was petty, It's like, I'm grateful for that martini I had last night because my life sucks. I'm grateful for them empanadas that I had. I'm grateful for, whoever I talked to. And now I'm just grateful for every moment. But that started in 2009, the practice of actually being grateful. And I offer that to not judge yourself of what you're grateful for. And even if you have a hard time being grateful for something, that's okay. Just continue on until you start to come into the mood and into the awareness of, I'm really grateful for what I have going on in my life. I thought I turned this phone off. My God. Didn't you watch me turn the phone off, Kathy?
I did. You must have an iPhone.
What is going on?
No, okay. Grateful. That's my word for this year. Is grateful. Yeah. I love it.
Okay. So my second is go for a walk 3 times a week. 30 minutes. Go somewhere. Get out of the house. And you have to move your body. And on Sunday I didn't work out. Kathy, I just didn't feel like myself. Like, I like to wake up wired with my coffee. Like, this is the energy that I like to be in all the time. And so I didn't work out on Sunday, and I wasn't feeling like today. So I was like, Chris, you're going to have to do something every day now. Like, it used to be, I could, work out 4 or 5 times a week. And it's not, I'm trying to be fine over here because I'm trying to be fine over here. But it's like, I have to, if I want to feel like this, I actually have to move in the morning, even if I go ride my bike. Mm-hmm. So if you're stuck, move. Go for a walk. And if it's cold and y'all are somewhere where it's snowing, because I wear my tank tops year round, then go to the gym and actually just walk on the treadmill. You ain't got to run 5 miles. You don't have to do it with regards to, being at the incline of 14. But the goal is, can you move your body? Dance 2 times a day. So we came into last year and I was shifting. My energy was shifting and I wasn't really feeling it. So I would dance to Earth, Wind, and Fire, and the OJs. You know, I was trying to get them dances down. And I actually talked about this at a conference that we did last May. Like, I would just dance because if you move your body, Prince, Madonna back in the day, and Michael Jackson are always great choices. It's like start to dance and move and actually learn how to infuse joy back into your life are huge things. Okay, we're gonna wait for Raquel. Kathy, text Raquel, see if she what she got going on.
Okay.
And then the last one is feel good now. Here's the thing, and I think Raquel talked about it. You have to be able to honor how you feel and how you want to feel, and honor yourself first. So if respecting me means disrespecting you, so be it. I mean, like, if I gotta disrespect myself and in order to respect you, I'm not willing to do that anymore. So I don't have fake conversations. I don't laugh when I don't want to laugh. If I don't think something funny, I don't laugh. I don't have to do that no more, right? And I'm not saying like at your job, don't be stone facing people, but it's like how can you honor yourself and actually start to create joy in your life? And that's getting out of situations that you don't want to be in, not allowing your friends to comfort you in what you're going through right now. Because if you're going through something, and I'm not saying everybody's going through something, but if your friends don't remind you of how great you are and they agree with the limited perspective that you have of yourself, you've now met your greatest enemy, right? Your friends who don't celebrate you to want to be better. And why don't we all just hang around together and let's suffer together? Let's commune together. Let's go out to eat empanadas and nachos and, you know, because I used to do it, and drink this liquor together. Let's spend $500 at the bar every Thursday, Friday, and brunch on Sunday, right? Like if that becomes the norm and we're comforting each other in our complacency not to change, that's not gonna work anymore, y'all. Yeah. Not in these times. And I know for sure, Kathy, that if what was going on today would have happened in 2012, 2011, I would have died. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be here right now. I would have been out of here. So I want to talk about, before we transition, I have a couple questions for y'all, then we're going to get out of here. I'm talking longer than I wanted to. And Raquel over there struggling with that iPhone. Girl, I will send you an Android if you're willing to shift. I will send you, I'm lying. But keep buying them iPhones. Every time they sabotage your phone with an update, keep it going because that stock is amazing. Now, okay, so Kathy and Raquel are licensing Vision Finder Masterclass. Yo, we've done this. We've created a system. They're continuing on. So I'm moving along. I ain't gonna say moving on. I'm moving along. Let me see if I can make myself bigger. I'm moving along to be able to teach on a greater scale. And I think that y'all, most people I've seen, because I follow, y'all know I follow, I'm a nerd. I follow a lot of people, a lot of successful people. Typically what the true successful people would do, they'll do something for themselves, and then they'll come out and teach it to the masses. They'll write a book and they'll teach everybody. But what I did it a little different. I proved something for myself first to get my life right after I burned my mental health down to 2 atoms in 2012 and lost my mind and then lost all my money. And when I got it back, then I proved it with a group of people first. Now I'm going to come out and share it with everybody else. And so Kathy and Raquel and also Dana, but know that the work wants to continue to go on. They want to continue to do the work. So these are the coaches, right? They are now leading the charge of Vision Finder Masterclass. They're now leading the charge of, creating results in other people. Not because they're new to this, because they've been doing it for the past 5-6 years. It's just they're still, I don't even know how to explain the business structure, which we probably get into the weeds, but they still doing this. So I just wanted to introduce them to you. Like, if y'all are ready to shift, it's not Christy's inbox, it's Kathy and Raquel's. And so I do have y'all have an event coming up next Saturday. Why is that QR code on my head? But this is the QR code if you want to join their event and learn more about how they are moving the vision forward. This is what they've done. This is what they do. They have been a part of the team for 5-6 years. Christy is not by herself, has not been by herself. So Kathy, what do you have to say to that while I put not right here. Hold on.
Oh,
this is what I would like. I wanted to show y'all's clients. Diana, right? Killing the game over here. I don't know if Erica was Celestine's or Raquel's client. I can't remember. Was Erica your client?
Yeah.
Okay.
Erica was my client.
This is Erica right here.
Beautiful.
Okay. Ooh, she was mine. She got knuckle sandwiched in the head. Was she one of y'all's clients or Celestine's client?
Celestina.
Yeah.
Okay. Jennifer was actually okay. There she go. Yours, right, Raquel?
Yes.
Zarina. No. There we go. I just want to show y'all before and after. Dana.
Yeah.
Ooh, wee, she fine.
Yes.
Kafisha.
Yes.
Brooke. There she go. Regina was both of y'all's clients. Start with Celestine. Did she start with you, Kathy, and move? I think she started with Celestine and not put up with Raquel.
Yeah, she moved over to me. Correct.
Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to show y'all what we do over here at Vision Finder International in case y'all want to go back and look at what is possible for you. Because here's the thing. They actually look like this before the picture. And the reason why it didn't take them 2 years to look like that, right? Because we coached for 4 months and we're done. We talking to y'all for 4 or 5 years. Once you learn how to take care of yourself, what I'm showing y'all is what sustainability looks like. What I'm showing you is what habits look like that compound over time and you start to get better. I'm showing you what it looks like that you can look completely different. I'm showing you what peace looks like. I'm showing you what joy looks like. I'm showing you what being free to choose yourself look like. I'm showing and they've changed the dynamics in their family forever, actually for generations. So I have prayed to the Lord to return to me all the service that I have put out into the world with compound interest. So when y'all see me accelerate over here, don't be mad. Check my portfolio. But anyway, I was just playing. That was petty. But I said, let the world get ready. Y'all about to see the rocket gear to take off. Y'all were like, what just happened? Like, man, I've been sowing seeds for a long time. So Kathy, before we close, are you excited about this next journey for yourself? And what advice do you have for the viewers who are listening?
Yeah, I'm incredibly excited. Like what Christy said when we first started, we are the products, right? It's not that we were just in the coaching and we just went on about our lives. It transformed our lives to the point that we became part of Christy's life, right? She is the founder of Vision Finder Masterclass, which is an incredible system that helps women break free of the old ideas and thought patterns that have kept them stuck when they maybe didn't even realize that they were stuck, but they were definitely in pain and were seeking relief, right? And so we've been able to work with Christy for over the past 5 years to help an increasing number of women find their way, find their passion, decide for once in their life, maybe without any other boundaries attached to it, what they truly want to have in life. Right? What they really want, and helping them to find a way forward so that it can be real in their lives. So we're super excited to be able to continue that energy, continue that work. As Christy shared, we have a really cool one-day event happening next Saturday on January the 17th that we can give you much more detail about what it looks like and give you some pointers and give you some ways to work. But we're super grateful to Christy for having entered our lives. I started with you in December of 2020. I remember sitting on the side of the bed praying to God, like, how am I gonna pay this lady? But I figured it out, right? Thank the Lord, as you would say. And since that point, my life has been on a totally different trajectory. And this is what free looks like, right? Right? The weight is down, family's happy, I'm happy. What I didn't say is that last year was really hard for my family. My husband got really, really sick. And through it all, like he's 100% healed. Like, we just kept it moving. There wasn't a time when I fell back into habits that would have brought me back to that picture that was taken in 2017, right? So again, or maybe that was 2020. That might have been 2020. But there was nothing that would have happened, even in those toughest moments, that would have pulled me back into that space. And so what I'm saying is that you can be free. You can be free. You can get free. You can learn how to stay free, right? If you just lean into the space of what's possible and trust that there is a way forward, and it can happen for you right now. Did we lose Raquel? I don't want her to miss the opportunity to also share the same.
No, she's coming back. I told her to use a computer. Like, so this, y'all put this on me, Raquel bouncing off of that iPhone, because her lighting wasn't perfect. Y'all, I'm trying to show y'all fineness over here. I can't be showing y'all fineness and the lighting is off. So I was like, hey, Raquel, use your phone. We already know that's not the move. So I just called her and said, hey man, use your computer. So, but here's the thing before we close out, and I'll let Raquel say her piece. Regardless of what you do, y'all got to do something. And if you're thriving, keep thriving, because the world is wide open for opportunity, and it's not what people call you, is what you answer to. So if they say that everybody know, 80% of women are going to lose, 20% going to make it. Let's see what's going to happen. If they say 90% going to lose, that means 10% are making it. If they say 100% going to lose, I say I'm going to be the first. So it's like, it's not what people call you, is what you believe. And in 2020, Kathy, I started to read these articles that said that women were going to lose the most during the pandemic. They call it a pink recession. And Black and brown women just might as well it's over. Just go jump in a river and float off somewhere. It's like, y'all are done. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to prove them wrong. Because I rose from the ashes, and y'all don't even know, because I came from the ashes, not even smelling like smoke. So it's like, y'all ain't talking to me. I came into 2020 with so much momentum. There's no way I'm going to lose. And we did very well in 2020 through serving other people. And so there were and y'all, I've been watching this like this, actually with my popcorn. Like, I've been watching the people who adopted the limited belief that nothing good can happen for them. I watched the people who adopted the belief and then used those articles as a reason for why they lost, as opposed to saying, you're not talking to me. You don't know me. You don't know my lineage. You don't know my family. You don't know the shoulders of the giants that I'm standing on. You're not talking to me. And so we proved them wrong. Year after year after year after year. And now here we are in 2026. It's like, people don't even dream anymore. People are flatlining. You got the people who are killing the game, but the majority have adopted this belief of, let's hold on and wait to see what happens. That's not going to work anymore, y'all. Y'all got to do something. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, work with Vision Finder International, work with Kathy and Raquel. It has to be something, whether it's breathe, like Kathy talked about, go for a walk, dance to whatever you want to dance to. But the world is wide open for opportunities for the people who learn who they are, why they're here, and what they're meant to accomplish in this world. And once you come into agreement with who you're meant to be with the Lord, and you write the vision, because I like to preach, and make it plain, God will order your steps. But God can't order your steps if you're not moving. He can't order your steps if you don't have a clear vision. And the reason why you don't have a clear vision is because you're so wrapped up in serving other people that you haven't learned how to serve yourself. So, Raquel talked about it, stop, and all of these pieces fit together. There she is. All right, what you got, Raquel?
I am so excited to be here. So excited for the new year. So excited for what we have in store for you. So excited to work with Christy. So excited, just excited. I am, I think that there's a lot of work ahead of us. The women still need us. People still need us. We still need to be here at the forefront. And like I said before, it's just a matter of having that clear path, that opportunity, and showing up for yourself. I mean, really, that's what it is you got to show up for yourself. You got to say yes to yourself. That's number one. but I'm just excited to be here, excited to be partnering up with Christy and Kathy, and let's do this. I'm ready.
Hold on. All right. So any last words? We're gonna get out of here because I got stuff to do. Kathy, one last word. Go ahead.
I would just say join us. Join us on January 17th. We'll have a lot of great information, and you can learn more about Raquel and I. And it's going to be a great event. So join us. It's free.
Okay, Raquel.
Ditto. It's just come and take a chance on yourself, and we will not. I always tell my clients or our clients, I will show up for you at 100% if you show up for yourself at 100%. I can't drag you through the mud, right? There's no way. I can't make it. I can't. Chrissy, you cannot make a water drink. What is that saying?
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it.
Drink, right? And so that's really what it is. It's like we can drag you through the mud. We can throw a temper tantrum over here, but until you say yes to yourself, give yourself an opportunity to grow, to be. And join us.
All right, Joe. All right. Well, we're out. Have a great week. Have a great weekend, everybody. I am happy that y'all made it. I'm happy that we're all still alive. Praise the Lord. I'm happy and I'm proud of you ladies for continuing to transform yourselves first. Because I have on a video where we tracked y'all year after year after year. Y'all got finer and you got better year after year after year. And so that should go. I just want y'all to continue, to just be who you are. And I'm proud of that you're continuing to serve the world, because the work does continue to need to be done. It just doesn't have to be done by me. But I trust y'all. I know your work because y'all have produced the fruit already for the past 6 years. So I'm just ready to go to my next level, and I'm glad that the legacy continues. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, holler at us. I already did the QR code. It's what's the link right here? Put the link in the chat. AscensionCollectionCollective.org/event. And I'll put the link in the comments. All right. Y'all take care. Holler. Y'all don't hang up.